Just in case you're interested, right now on the Mecha Gaikotsu Discord, there is a mecha detailing contest with awesome prizes. Link to the Mecha Gaikotsu Patreon in the description below. Hey, what is up everyone? Today we're going to be looking at the high-grade Universal Century Varguil from the manga Moon Gundam. Once again, you can tell from this box right here that this is Premium Bandai only. So if you're looking to get yourself some Premium Bandai kits, rare kits, hard to get kits, etc., then look no further than Bai. That's where I got mine, and the link is down there in the description. Now let's get right into the review. So first off, this right here is what the Sazabi prototype, the Varguil, looks like out of the box, just snapped together with pretty much minimum effort. And all I can say is this is one impressive looking mobile suit right here. And to see something, well, that looks pretty much like a version of Sazabi in purple is quite unique. So first up, I will mention that this is essentially straight built. I did panel line it with a grey panel liner. This is a black one, but I'm just using it for, example. And I did use all of the included stickers because, as far as basic stickers go, these are quite nice, and I really wanted to see what they'd look like because they are that sort of black and white striped, heavy machinery caution style stickers that look so cool. They go really well with the purple of the kit, so I think it would have looked a little bit bare without these. These are also shaped quite well to the areas that they stick onto, so it means that they don't stand out too much or look too obvious as stickers. These I really do like. So there's the full 360-degree spin of the Varguil, so you can see absolutely every angle of this kit, so you can decide whether or not you like this kit, and if you want it for yourself. So there is absolutely no denying how cool this is. It's got that Sazabi vibe while at the same time has a little bit of a Federation kind of look. We'll get to why that is very soon. But yeah, this thing looks pretty cool. We've got awesome surface detail, some funnels up on the backpack Sazabi style with those big old fuel tanks, and this mobile suit has one cool silhouette that we have seen somewhere before. That somewhere before, of course, is this right here, the high-grade Moon Gundam. This is the first ever high-grade Gundam kit that I ever gave Gundarium Tier 2. This is one mind-blowing kit. There's so much going on in here, so many different plastic types. It's got 2 shades of white on it like a real grade, there is no polycaps. And overall, this is one impressive kit. But I will mention, in the couple of years since this came out in September 2018, we have seen a lot of evolution in the high-grade Universal Century line. On the whole, the Varguil is pretty much exactly the same as the Moon Gundam, but it is missing a couple of premium features. Of course, it doesn't have the big Psycho Plate Moon up on its back, which, for better or worse, could be considered a good thing because of the weight. But it does not have the 2 shades of color in its armor like we got with the Moon Gundam. The Moon Gundam had a very light gray and a white for the white sections, but with this kit we've only got the purple. The yellow stickers are nice, but they are stickers, and the head just isn't the same level of awesome as what we saw with the Moon Gundam. It is quite simple in comparison to the Moon Gundam's head, and the mono eye on there is a sticker. If you remember with the Moon Gundam, the whole head section didn't require any stickers, including the eyes, but the black section for the eyes wasn't there, so you had to panel line that or paint it, but the eyes did not require stickers. The backpack with the funnels is a little bit of an afterthought too, because everything is in all the one color, so once again, not quite as cool as what we saw with the Moon Gundam. It is 250 yen cheaper than the Moon Gundam, that is if you got it through Premium Bandai at its original price, but when speaking about premium features in high grades and the price, enter the high-grade Messer that just came out. So just to put this into perspective, this is 2,500 yen retail, this is 2,750 yen if you can grab it at the retail price, and this was a whopping 3,000 yen. So although the Messer right here may not have the premium plastic and the premium color separation that this right here would have, it's still a whole lot bigger and is still a no polycap build, so a lot of the features that made this Gundarium tier definitely have become more commonplace, more so as of late. Anyway, as for those size comparisons, we've already seen it beside the Moon Gundam. Once again, there it is beside the standard Granddaddy Revive, so this is a normal size Gundam, so these are some pretty big mobile suits. And as the Varguil is a prototype Sazabi, there it is side by side with the Behemoth, which is the real grade Sazabi. So it seems like Char might have been like, can you make that a little bit, bigger? And red. Because this Sazabi is a whole lot bigger than the Varguil. So now moving on to the accessories, and here's the high-grade Varguil with absolutely everything that it comes with. So what we've got in here is the beam rifle, the beam tomahawk, a pair of butterfly edge beam boomerangs, as well as the widespread open dynamic hands I've had on the Varguil for the review so far. We've also got a standard pair of holding hands as well as one right hand beam rifle holding hand. Finally, in here we have removable funnels. We have 6 of these, not just the one I have here, and we've got a base adapter. So just like this one right here, all of those funnels up in here can be removed just by popping them out like that and like that. The canisters up on the shoulders which contain the funnels can be displayed open like this. This just closes, as simple as that. There is a quick look at one of the funnels. These don't have any holes or anything like that to attach them to an action base, but the end right here kind of looks like it might be 3mm? Maybe. Let's test it out. What is a 3mm hole? It's the only thing I have available. Yeah, okay. It's not 3mm. Okay, moving on. Just put them back in there. So now moving on to the butterfly edge beam boomerang. So these cannot be held in the hand. I never tried this before with the Moon Gundam, but these just don't fit. They're too thick. So the best thing you can do with these is kind of display them like they're being thrown, but there is nothing once again to attach these to in order to display them being thrown. So you may need something like an action base with the claw like this one right here, or maybe one with a little bit of tack on it like this one right here. That works well enough. When these are not in use, you can just tuck them away like that, and then just pop them into the rear of the forearm, as neat as that right there. You do also have the option of angling them just like this, and then popping them into the arm like this, with those beams deployed and ready to attack. Next up in here we've got the beam tomahawk. This is quite nice in your fairly standard pink for the beam effect. This is vigorous. I almost forgot what the word was. But yeah, beam effect in here, quite nice. This just pops into the hand just like this. Then we pop on the back, as usual. And there's an example of what the Varguil will look like with the beam tomahawk attached. When it's not in use, just pop off the beam. This does attach on quite tight, so be careful. And then that just attaches away like this. Simple as in between those funnels. Next up then is the beam rifle, which kind of looks like a smaller variant of the Sazabi's beam shot rifle. Has a happy face on the side. Attaching this is exactly the same as usual, so just sandwiches in like that. Also, this kit does have a base adapter which attaches in from behind, just like that right there, so quite neat. And there is an example of what the Varguil will look like equipped with the beam rifle, so pretty cool. That is a nice, chunky beam rifle. So now moving on to the articulation and the build of this is fantastic, just like it was with the Moon Gundam. The only real issues are, these up here are somewhat on the loose side and get in the way of the head all the time. They're not as nicely designed as what we would see on any version of the Sazabi. These are kind of just, well, they're plain annoying. So I'm going to take these off for the articulation part, but while they're attached, the tanks round back, they can do quite a bit. A lot more than I would have expected for a ball joint. It is a ball joint here for these as well. And they attach into the backpack via a peg, but you don't really get much out of this because this one is what wants to do all the moving most of the time. But yeah, they're quite annoying, so they're coming off for the articulation. One minor issue I do have with this kit that I did have with the Moon Gundam after a while is this right here. So this little section here where it attaches to the waist, to this section here that is the torso attachment for that, this always just comes apart all the time. So what you end up with is something like this, where that segment is kind of just hovering above it detached. Still holding in because the pressure exerted on this little segment right here just from holding in there, but a lot of the time you'll find it'll be falling backwards, falling backwards, falling backwards, and you won't know why, and it's because that's not actually locked in because it likes to fall out. But once you get used to that and keep pushing it back on, that'll be no issue. But what we've got is double jointed giggity 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 goo neck, all the way up, all the way down, all the way around, not really. That kind of collar gets in the way of the rotation all the way around and the pivot side to side, so it kind of blocks it a bit. Once again, no polycaps for the Varguil, so this in here is plastic on plastic. That is the movement of that joint. So what we get is arm all the way up, impressive. all the way around 360 degrees, all the way to the back, all the way to the front. Flappy flappy up here, full rotation at the upper arm. There is our bend at the elbow, quite good. Standard ball joint for the wrist. At the waist, this is all we get there. There is no ab crunch, but we do get this whole tilt to the front that is at that joint that I mentioned inside of the waist unit. But that means absolutely nothing to the back. Which you know is a good thing because Moon Gundam right here has to cart that big old Moon Gundam around. If this was flopping back all the time, that would not be great. That is the front skirting. That is it for the side skirting. We got one nice premium butt flap, and we do have a dropping mechanism inside the hips. So as for the kicks, there's the kick all the way up to the front. The front skirting armor does block it a bit directly to the front. There we go, all the way out to the back. That's all we're gonna get there. Drop that forward a little bit more. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Yay! But the butt flap fell off. So yeah, essentially, you get to there. Next up, splits test, and I consider that a pass. We've got that full rotation at the upper leg. We've got a double jointed bend at the knee. There's the first joint. There's the second one. There's the third one. Treble jointed. That is very nice. As well as that super awesome, very, very nice knee moving gimmick. Pretty cool. Moving flappy flappy here at the front of the ankle. Thruster hidden away in the back of the leg, and at the ankle weave rear and forward motion like that, and there's the side to side pivot. Now let's try this on the ground to see that functional movement. So without lifting the foot off the ground, there's the leg all the way to the front, so that is good, not great. There it is all the way to the back, so that is very, very good. And as for the side to side pivot, we get that to that, which is okay, about average. Wait, now all of a sudden I've got more rotation here at the waist. It must have been getting blocked by something it's not blocked by anymore, so the waist can go all the way around. So the articulation on the Varguil is exactly the same as what we saw in the Moon Gundam before, and that means it is extremely impressive. It could be a little bit better at the ankles and maybe the waist, but once again, that was functional for the Moon Gundam. So on the whole, it's pretty awesome. So that right there is it for the review, and this might come as a little bit of a shock, maybe it isn't, but this right here, to me, is platinum tier. So you might be wondering if this is so similar or maybe almost exactly the same as the high-grade Moon Gundam, why is it not Gundarium tier? So there is a very simple answer to that. Gundarium tier is different to all the other tiers. Once again, brown is absolutely rubbish. Bronze is not up to spec whatsoever. Silver is exactly what I'd expect from a grade. Gold is beyond my expectations for a grade. And platinum is far beyond my expectations for a grade, as in as good as they get. Gundarium tier means that the kit has ascended beyond its grade to something entirely different. So Gundarium tier is an evolving grade. As the line evolves, so does Gundarium tier. So a lot of the tech that was in Moon Gundam, which was absolutely mind-blowing for its time, is kind of commonplace now. Off the top of my head, I can name 3 non-polycap builds that have come out in the last couple of years. That of course is the high-grade Justice Gundam, the high-grade RX-78-2 Beyond Global, and the high-grade Universal Century Messer. All of those do have that sort of technological aspect built into them now. So that does mean that this is kind of normal for a high grade. Also, the Varguil does not have the same sort of color separation that we saw with the Moon Gundam. I would have liked to have seen 2 shades of purple in here, just like we would have seen 2 shades of white with the Moon Gundam. Something like this isn't necessarily necessary, but it is nice on the eye. Besides that though, this kit is pretty much perfect in most ways. Any complaints I would have are very, very minor and picky, like the fact that the funnel segments up on the back are a little bit annoying, a little bit loose, and kind of get in the way of the head movement, but that is such a finicky little complaint. Besides that, this thing is beautiful, is awesome, and is almost as good as the Moon Gundam. But anyway, as always, if you do want one of your own, I got mine through Buyee, you can get one there too. I think I bought it off of Rakuten through Buyee. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to come back for more gunpla reviews, and I'll see you next time. So once again, I can't end this video right here without thanking each and every one of you guys for watching this video, as well as liking and subscribing. And of course, special thanks to my channel members and patrons, Craig Jury, Kaiser721, Tyler Sanders, Caleb Engelhart, and Sean T.